On the campus of Central College tonight, it's Pella versus Pella Christian in a Class 2A boys district semifinal. Paul Clark with you on the new 92 FM along with Gordon Van Zanten. And Gord, tonight's ball game figures to be much, much closer than the season opener between these two teams, won by 37 points by Pella Christian. Both teams have made improvements during the course of the year. It'll be up to Pella to prove that they've improved drastically more than Pella Christian.
Well, that's exactly right, Paul. And you take an inexperienced ball club like what Pella started out with, and the improvement is bound to be seen more in a ball club like that than one that started with as many returning starters as what Pella Christian did. And it'll be a lot more even just simply because of the pressure. You know that the pressure's there, and that has a tendency to even things out. There's a lot of difference on paper, but not a lot of difference on the court. We've already found that out in several tournament ball games with the 1990 tournament trail that a lot of teams have already gotten beat and so forth where they expected to win. So it'll be a much better ball game than what it was early in the year when Pella had the inexperienced ball club and Pella Christian returned several starters.
We want to get right into our coaches' pregame interviews as we talk with both head coaches. Right now, let's join the skipper of the Pella Little Dutch. It's time now to visit with Pella High basketball coach George Wares as the Little Dutch set to take on Pella Christian tonight. George, you come in tonight as a decided underdog against your crosstown rivals. Let's look back on the season. Season opener, a big, big loss to Pella Christian, but a lot has happened since then. What are some of the major differences on your side of the ball for the Pella Little Dutch between then and now?
Well, the obvious one would be player personnel. Obviously, Brad Rempe didn't play for us in that first game, and despite the fact that Brad's been up and down as far as offensive production, he just gives us some leadership on the floor, and he does a nice job on the boards for us and plays a pretty good job on the defensive end. And that, along with the other players, are 19 games into the season now, and they are no longer young. You know, they're still young from the standpoint of age, but the fact that Apatoven has now had 19 games, he becomes a sophomore. Smid with 19 games, in a sense, becomes a junior. So that's a big plus for us, and we just feel like we've gotten better. We had a long ways to go. And I think Pella Christian has improved from that game, too, so it's not like they stayed where they were. They have become a better basketball team as well, but we had so much farther to go. I hope our improvement was greater than theirs.
Pella Christian, of course, looking back to last year's district loss to the Little Dutch, it might be overstating things a bit to say that they've been pointing for this ball game in particular. They're pointing for a trip to the state tournament. But to what degree do you get your team to forget about last year? Really, it obviously won't do the Dutch any good tonight. But where Pella Christian has last year on their mind, how much does Pella not have last year on their mind?
I don't think we do it all, other than the fact of telling our players it can happen. Because last year we were underdogs going into this game as well. Maybe not to the degree that we are this year. We were definitely not the favorite to win. But you know, it's a completely different team. You know, regardless of who wins tonight, this is not Pella Christian's team playing last year's Pella team or vice versa. So there really is no connection between the two. I think Pella Christian probably will use it from the standpoint of, hey, this can't happen if we aren't ready. So I expect them to be very ready to play. But I think they were ready to play last year. I think they came out and were into the game, and I think they will be tonight and play very hard tonight. So the only way we're using it for our kids is just to get them to understand if you do some things correctly, even if you're an underdog, once you get into tournaments, a lot of things can happen, and we want them to realize that it can and start believing in themselves that they can get the job done tonight.
In the game tonight, from the coach's perspective, what's the one thing that you would really like to see happen that you think would give Pella a great chance to pull off the upset? And on the other side of the coin, what absolutely can't happen to the Pella Little Dutch tonight?
Well, I think the first question, to begin with, I think there are two things that I feel if we can control, we've got at least a shot at winning the game. Number one, we've got to stop their transition baskets. I think we have to make them play against our quarter-court defense, because I feel that's one of the things we do fairly well. If we can stop their easy baskets off the transition, that's going to give us at least a chance in the game. And the second thing is we've got to do something to control them on the offensive board. So we just can't let them pound the boards like they've done against some other teams, which means we've got to get some bodies into them and screen out. And if we do those two things, I think we've at least got a chance. The thing we don't want to happen, besides the reverse of those two, is the quick Pella Christian start. You know, if they come out the first quarter and simply dominate and get a 15-2 or 17-2 run or something like that, it's going to be very hard for us to keep their heads up. And they're the type of team that is capable of doing that. The more likely we are to have a shot.
As you look at the progress Pella has made through the course of this season, do you feel good that your team is peaking at the right point? In other words, would you have liked tournaments to come around a little bit earlier in the season? Do you think you were any higher, playing at any higher level than you are right now?
I don't think so. I think we're doing about as well as we thought we would at this point in the season, at least the things you have to do to have success in tournaments. You know, I've been of the years I've done this, I believe the teams that play well defensively, the teams that do fundamentally things the way you should as far as screening out, you usually have an opportunity to win. You can't control somebody coming in and shooting 70%. Sometimes those nights are going to happen, and you never know what you're going to do offensively, especially in our case. We've been pretty inconsistent throughout the year, so we've really focused in on playing defense as well as we can and rebounding as well as we can and doing the things we know we can control, like the effort, the intensity, and we feel at this point we're doing those things about as well as we have all season.
George Ware is the head basketball coach of the Pella High Little Dutch. The atmosphere is electric. Electric. That's what I'm looking for, George. It's short-circuiting my mouth. That's what it's doing.
I tell you, we're up here so high, and all the sound reverberates around your head that you can hardly hear yourself think. So you're going to have to excuse us a little bit if you decided to listen on the radio rather than be here at Kuiper Gym.
Well, we'll be all right, and we'll bring you an exciting ball game. First, we want to hear from the head coach of the Pella Christian Eagles. Jerry Nickel has led his team to a perfect 19-0 record coming in. It's time now to visit with Pella Christian boys basketball coach Jerry Nickel as his top-ranked Eagles prepare to take on the Pella Little Dutch. Jerry, these two teams got together about almost 3 months ago, back on December 1st. And at that point, Pella Christian was the far superior ball club, a 37-point victory. But each team has had the chance to play through the course of a season. How much do you think the gap has narrowed between the two teams?
Well, that'd be real hard to say point-wise, Paul, because in that first game they didn't have Brad Rempe playing either, and certainly he probably was the most experienced guy that they could have had on the floor, so they really just had nobody with any experience at all. So you put 18 games of experience on a team like that, even with it's going to make quite some difference. Point spread like I don't know, but I do think, they've played with confidence here lately again in the season, ending the season with Albion, Centerville, and those teams are good to build confidence against. So it's hard to say. It's certain that they are a much improved ball club over what they were at that time, and then we hope we are too a little bit.
Coach Wares is concerned about a fast start by Pella Christian, given the facts that your team should have their first game tournament jitters out of the way, not that there were any evident on Monday night in the big win over Davis County. He's worried about a quick start. Is that something you've concentrated on preparing for this ball game?
Well, in a way, I think it is. I'd say we're a little bit concerned about a quick start by them also. It's one of the things we've talked about as we look at the scores of a lot of their recent games. They seem to come out in the first quarter and score very well. So I think that we're a little concerned about that on their end of the floor, more perhaps than we are our own. We would like to just, play good, hard-nosed basketball and take the points as they come on our end, and whenever they come, they come. But we're a little concerned about their fast start.
In tonight's ball game, what's a key area or two that Pella Christian looks to take advantage of against Pella, areas where you think the Eagles can excel?
Well, hopefully on the boards, Paul, with our size inside, hopefully we can rebound well on both ends of the court and get some offensive putbacks for second shots. The offensive board has been real good to our team all year, so we would hope for that. We would also hope that maybe we can take some advantage of the inexperience they have in the ball handling positions out front, especially when we go to some full court pressure and just also out in front where they're trying to get into their offense in the half court. So those two things we would hope to take advantage of.
Let's do something here. Let's put you on the other end. Let's put you on the bench opposite Pella Christian. Maybe not just tonight's ball game, but any other ball game. What's one thing that you would have to do to beat the Eagles?
Well, I don't know. When you go scouting, Paul, one of the things you look at, I think, is, the other team's personnel, and you try to decide how your personnel fit in with theirs. So you try to put a pecking order in there, and you say, okay, we've got 2 players better than anybody they've got, or we've got 5 better than anybody they got, something like that. I suppose if I was on the other end, you'd have to come up, I think, if I was coaching, I would have to come up with something that was out of the ordinary, whatever that might be. Delay game all the way through, foul every time he cuts the ball, don't let him shoot a field goal, whatever, and we've been in games where we've done that. I can remember a game we played several years ago that we shouldn't have been in, and we won up 35-32. I can remember being down 21 points at one time, in fact, to Davis County in the tournaments, and with 10 seconds to go in the game, had the ball, and we're down by 1 with a chance to win it. So I think you got to do something that is not expected, whatever that might be. Full court pressure, sit on the ball, whatever. But I think, something out of the ordinary.
The crowd noise says it all. We are set for Class 2A District semifinal. Kuiper Gymnasium on the campus of Central College in Pella. The number 1 team in Class 2A in the entire state of Iowa. Pella Christian against the team that knocked them out of the tournament last year and went on to a state runner-up finish, the Little Dutch from Pella High School. Paul Clark along with Gord Van Zanten on the new 92 FM KRLS. Glad to have you along. Gord, size up tonight's ballgame. What do we look for?
Well, I think, Paul, you've got 2 veteran coaches. Both teams use multiple offensive sets. Both teams use a number of different kinds of defenses. I think it basically comes down to the fact that you've got 2 different clubs. Pella uses the 3-point shot. Pella Christian does not. Pella Christian's game's an inside game. Pella High is an outside game. Pella High earlier in this year gave Montezuma a 3-point ball game because they were hitting that outside shot. If they do that tonight, it's going to be a ball game. If Pella Christian has its way inside, it'll be Pella Christian's game.
We're underway, and the Pella Christian Eagles have the basketball to get things started. Troy Vandermolen, Eric Pothoven in the backcourt for the maroon-clad Eagles. Mark Van Gorp up front, Ryan Klein and Brent Geeting. They work on a man-to-man defense. Van Gorp inside, shot no good. Klein with the offensive board. Follow shot is good.
Nice put back by Woody Klein to start the ball game.
Offensive rebounding will be a big key tonight for Pella Christian. Pella will have to keep the Eagles off the offensive board. Here's a loose ball. Randy Smith recovers for Pella. Randy Smith and Jeff Lucas in the backcourt. Brad Rimpey, Rob Bruxford underneath. Bruxford goes up, misses the layup shot, and Pella Christian has the rebound. Mike Balster rounding out the front line for Pella. Here come the Eagles. Pothoven free throw line jumper, no good. Rebound comes out, and Lucas has it for Pella. They'll bring it up as we come the other way. Little Dutch work right to left on your radio dial. Brad Rimpey with the ball, baseline to Mike Balster. He's picked up by Geetings out to Brad Rimpey. Jeff Lucas will hold the ball on his hip between the circles and reset the offense for the Pella Little Dutch. Randy Smith, nice move, goes baseline. Better get out of the lane. He does. Rob Bruxford from the baseline. Shot is no good. Rebound. Smith has it for Pella. He'll come out of there with it. And 3 seconds called in the lane on Mike Balster.
Pella Christian playing a man-to-man defense, just straight up, nose to nose. And a couple of times, being that the pressure's been on the outside, they have taken the ball to the hole, and Mark Van Gorp had to pick up Bruxford at one point.
Balster fell down that time, going for the offensive rebound. Couldn't scramble out of the lane in time. 3 seconds. Here's Vandermolen for 3. Boy, Vandermolen.
He might be a big force in the tournament if he can hit that shot.
Pella Christian on top, 5-0. Here's Randy Smith with the basketball. Smith off to Bruxford, back out to Smith. He goes baseline, stops, 12-footer is an air ball, and Geetings has the rebound. Pella High cannot let Pella Christian get off to this big start. They're going to have to slow it down soon. Geetings from way outside, no good. Rebound to Rob Bruxford, and Pella comes out of there with it. Brad Rimpey with the basketball for Pella. Pella in the home white uniforms. They're the home team on the scoreboard tonight. Lucas off to Brad Rimpey. Rimpey looks to get it down underneath to Balster. Balster working, can't get it to him, and Rimpey kicks it back out to Randy Smith. Bounce pass to Balster, out to Brad Rimpey, back into Balster. He spins, shoots over Geetings, can't get it. Bruxford with the offensive board, the basket, and the foul. Offensive board work, great position by Rob Bruxford, got the putback and scored the basket and got the foul. Rebound will be, or foul I should say, will be on Mark Van Gorp, his first team foul on Pella Christian.
Mark Van Gorp got turned sideways, and Bruxford made the nice move and scored the bucket at the free throw line.
Bruxford shoots and gets the basket. The free throw is good, and it's 5-3.
Full court pressure by Pella.
Vandermolen takes the inbound. He's picked up by Brad Rimpey. Cross court to Eric Pothoven. They get it in the middle to Ryan Klein, and he works it across half court. On the left-handed dribble, has some trouble with it. Better get rid of it. Does to Vandermolen. Vandermolen for 3. Shot no good. Rebound Also had position, and Ryan Klein is called for a rebounding foul. Second foul on Pella Christian. No fouls yet on the Little Dutch.
Pat Myers and Dick Roberts from Newton will do the ball game tonight. Experienced referees, state tournament referees.
Here comes Pella with the basketball across half court. Jeff Lucas with the basketball. Picked up by Pothoven. Zone defense right now for the Eagles.
They will run out of their full court pressure.
And here's 3 seconds in the lane on Randy Smith. Turnover number 2 on Pella.
Pella will pull back this time and play their half-court defense. No pressure in the backcourt.
Eagles bring it down. Eric Pothoven works it across the timeline. Ryan Klein down in the corner to Brent Giddings. The Eagles haven't scored for a while. They lead 5-3, 4:56 to go. Here's Van Dorp underneath, and that'll be an easy one off the basket for Mark Van Dorp. Have to deny him the basketball. 7-3, Pella Christian on top. Here's Jeff Lucas with the ball off to Rempe underneath the Vulture. He'll go in on Giddings. Shoot and miss. Got his own rebound. Follow shot is blocked, and a foul called on Giddings. That'll be his first and the third team foul on Pella Christian, so the Little Dutch building an advantage in team fouls right now.
And again, if you're the underdog, that's the way you stay in a ball game. If you can get the other team in foul trouble early and go to the line early, particularly on these early ones, if they're shooting fouls, you shoot those, and then you're in 1-1. So, well, I tell you, that can really help you out.
Mike Balster shoots and scores from the free throw line, makes it 7-4. 4:38 to go here, first quarter. A Class 2A District semifinal live from Central College. Pella versus Pella Christian. The second shot is good by Balster. It's a 2-point ball game again, 7-5.
Boy, Balster's really playing with confidence compared to what he did in game 1, and I think that's what happens to a sophomore.
Here's Pothoven with the ball, gets it across half court. Vandermolen down on the baseline to Van Dorp. No from 12 into Woody Klein, and the shot is good. Brian Klein 2 for 2, and it's 9-5. Pella team has adopted the song High Hopes for tonight. That's their theme song for the ballgame. Randy Smith, a three-pointer, no good. And Brent Giddings gets the rebound for Pella Christian. Pothoven works it down the left side. Vandermolen underneath. Ball tipped away. Last touch by Woody Klein. It'll be out of bounds and belong to Pella. First turnover on the Eagles.
Really important to Pella to stay close in his first quarter.
Brad Rippey with the ball into Randy Smith as the Eagles press. Smith almost trapped half court, gets it off to Rippey, and across the timeline come the Little Dutch. 9-5 Pella Christian, 3:50 to go in the first quarter. Eagles' biggest lead has been 5. Here's Smith down in the corner, saves it before it goes out of bounds. It comes into Vandermolen, 2-on-1 to Pothoven. He goes in, layup is good. Possibly turnover on Pella makes it an 11-5 ball game with 3:35 to go first quarter.
Again, Eric Pothoven's worked on that left hand all year and made that layup left-handed.
Jeff Lucas with the basketball. Zone defense again for the Eagles. Here's Balster. Spins baseline out to Rippey. 2-pointers up, no good. He was just on the line. Bruxford gets the rebound. Into Rippey, back to Bruxford. His baseline jumper is no good, and rebound to Mark Van Dorp.
You can tell how important the ball game is, Paul, because neither coach has made a substitution at this point.
Woody Klein, a double clutch, got the basket and the foul. Beautiful individual move.
Coach Bears will take the timeout.
We have got a timeout on the floor with 3:05 to go, first quarter. It's Pella Christian 11 and Pella 5.
Tonight's district basketball game on the new 92 FM is brought to you by
Where? We're back at Central College Kuiper Gymnasium on the new 92 FM. Ryan Klein at the free throw line for Pella Christian, looking to complete a three-point play. Free throw is up and good, and Pella Christian now with a 9-point lead. They have scored 7 consecutive points. Pella Christian had a 5-point run to start it, a 7-point run. Now here's a backcourt foul on Woody Klein, and that'll be number 2 on Ryan, and the 4th team foul on Pella Christian.
That time with the ball dead along the end line, Pella Christian put on the press. Usually a zone press, and then they'll fall back into a zone.
Brad Wingate checks in for Ryan Klein. First game tournament jitters perhaps for Pella. Pella Christian shooting 60% so far. Pella shooting 11%. Pella has done a lot of their damage at the free throw line. They've made 3 free throws and only 1 field goal for 2 points. So they've actually had more points from the line so far.
And I think that's an item to be concerned about as far as Pella Christian is concerned, because Pella will be at the line throughout the rest of the first quarter and also into the second. And I didn't catch that. They walked down to this end to shoot the free throw, but Pella was not in the 1-and-1 yet. That's the 4th team foul. They'll shoot on the next one.
So we come back to the other end where the foul was committed, and Pella will put it in from their defensive baseline, and Pella Christian picks up the full court pressure. Lucas trapped in the corner, gets it to Bruxford, to Smith, and across half court to Brad Rimpey. Rimpey comes down the left side with the basketball off to Randy Smith. And here's Jeff Lucas. Bounce pass in the corner to Smith. Long cross court is to Randy Smith. Three-pointer no good. And the rebound comes off to Pothoven. Here come the Eagles. Pothoven brings it in, stops, kicks off to Vandermolen. Down underneath there's Wienia. Gets the ball tipped away from behind, and Lucas comes out of there with it. It's Lucas going in on Pothoven all the way to the hoop. Layup is no good, and Vandermolen got the rebound. And the Little Dutch are a little bit tight.
I think that's right, Paul, because you don't miss that layup if you're playing the kind of basketball you want to play.
Pothoven for 3. It's good, and all of a sudden, Pella Christian has jumped out to a 17-5 lead. Jeff Lucas with the basketball to Brad Rimpey into Balster. He turns, shoots, is fouled, and doesn't get the roll. Foul will be on Giddings, and that's his second.
And Woody Klein also has 2.
So that's the 2 forwards up on the front line for Pella Christian, both picking up 2 fouls here in the first quarter.
And I think the secret for Pella right now is not to panic. You cannot get that all back at once. And like you said, they have had some good shots. And with hitting 2 or 3 of those, it'd be considerably closer. So they can't get it all back at once. They just got to keep working and plugging a little bit here.
6'6" sophomore Chad Dieleman into the lineup for the Eagles. Mike Balster hits from the free throw line. He's 3 of 3 at the line. Pella hasn't missed a free throw yet. They're 4 of 4. And Balster makes it 5 of 5. So
what a fine ball player he is going to be.
That stops the run at 10 straight points. And here's Rob Bruxford committing a foul at half court as he reached in, and only the second team foul on Pella, so Pella Christian will put it in from out of bounds. Kevin Pothoven, the freshman, set to come in for Pella. He'll check in for Jeff Lucas at the point. Pella Christian 17, Pella 7 with 1:55 to go in the first quarter. Eric Pothoven with it. It's a man-to-man defense for Pella. Pothoven on Pothoven. Scoop shot is good by Eric Pothoven.
Did it all himself. They had a pick set for him, but he didn't use the pick. Went the opposite way and scored.
Kevin Pothoven off to Brad Rimpey. Howls high above the head. Now gets back to Kevin. Kevin goes around the pick, and Eric Pothoven gets the foul as he runs over Rob Bruxford. First foul on Eric, and Bruxford will go to the line to shoot 1-and-1. 1:31 to go. Pella Christian 19, Pella 7, and George Wares was worried about a big first quarter from the Eagles. As you mentioned, Pella has to get it back a little bit at a time.
Well, they'll go on a run. There's no doubt about that. That's going to happen in every ball game, and they just got to be patient as to when it's going to come.
Free throw good by Bruxford, and again, the time at the line has been helpful for Pella. Pella came in, as you mentioned, as the three-point shooting team. They're 0 for 2, and Pella Christian's 2 from 3. 2 for 3 from out there. Bruxford's third free throw of the game is good, and it's 19-9 with 1:28 to go first quarter. Eric Pothoven works it and kicks it right side to Brad Wienia. Wienia dumps it inside. It's intercepted. Bruxford knocks it away, and Balster comes up with the loose ball. Both teams now with 3 turnovers. Kevin Pothoven dribbles in. Might have walked. No whistle. Kevin got away with one there. And now he's called for traveling, and that might have been an even-up call. But Kevin did let the pivot foot slide ever so slightly. Eagle basketball. Eric Pothoven and Troy Vandermolen pull it out front, and Pella Christian might play catch with the basketball. They're certainly looking to pull Pella out of the zone. About a minute left in the first quarter, 55 seconds. Vandermolen with it, Pothoven with it, and the Eagles will indeed try to pull Pella out of that zone. Pella has come out, but they've really just extended the zone. Smith and Kevin Pothoven out harassing the guards. And here's a foul on Randy Smith. third team foul on Pella, so the Eagles now not too far away from the bonus. Pella Christian 19 and Pella 9 with 40 seconds to go first quarter. You're listening to Boys District Basketball. Eagles and Little Dutch, the crosstown rivalry on KRLS. And here's a foul called on Kevin Pothoven. And Pella did not need this. They have really just about squandered that advantage they had on the team foul.
Well, that's exactly right. The team foul is now at 5 and 4.
And the Eagles put the ball in. Eric Pothoven loops into the backcourt. Kevin Pothoven goes for the steal, doesn't come up with it. Vandermolen. And the Eagles will be content to play for one, down to 26 seconds in the quarter. Here's Eric Pothoven, double team, gets it off to Wienia. Brad Wienia back to Eric Pothoven, 19 seconds in the quarter. Here's Eric Pothoven. Kevin Pothoven picks him up. Brad Wienia with the basketball. Wienia dribbles around, and Rob Bruxford knocks it out of bounds. It will belong to Pella Christian. 11 seconds left to go in the quarter. PC by 10, 19-9, and they're running down the first quarter here.
Now Pella will take the pressure off, sit in the zone, and
Eric Pothoven with the ball, fakes out to Vandermolen. Three-pointer is no good. Rebound to Wienia, and he is fouled on the rebound. No, he commits the foul. And that's really a big turn of events for the Little Dutch. Instead of Pella Christian perhaps getting the last shot of the quarter and scoring, Pella will come down and shoot free throws and have a chance to get 2 points with 2 seconds left in the first quarter.
One of these big ball in college basketball, and I think it's true for high school basketball too. You've got a chance to keep that thing under double digits. Right now we're at 10, and they've got a chance to get 2 here by way of the free throw.
Rob Bruxford at the line. Pella has not missed yet, and that streak is over. Dieleman with the rebound. And the first quarter comes to an end. After one, it's Pella Christian 19 and Pella 9.
Tonight's district basketball game on the new 92.
On top of Pella 19-9. First quarter, Pella Christian shot 67%. Pella shot 9%. You don't have to look any farther for the problem for the Little Dutch.
No, and then you're still only talking about a 10-point deficit. So Pella's fortunate that it isn't greater than that.
Pella has made 7 of 8 free throws, so they've done the job at the line, and as Gord says, it's kept them in the ball game. Here's the ball deflected. Vandermolen with the steal down in front to Wienia. Wienia and Pothoven go down in a tangle, and Kevin Pothoven is called for traveling.
Brad Wienia just has not gotten on track. He had 2 turnovers and hasn't gotten comfortable on the floor since he's come in for eating.
Wienia puts it in from the offensive baseline. Dieleman shot off the glass, no good. Schmidt had the rebound, fell down, and Rimpey comes out of there with it. Here comes Pella down by 10. Big possession as Pella tries to get it under double digits. Randy Schmidt kicks it off to Bruxford. Cross court. Brad Rimpey shot on the way is good. And they give him 3. 7 points. Brad Rimpey makes it a 7-point ball game, 19-12. The Little Dutch have scored 7 of the last 9 points in this ball game. Here's Brad Wienia. Spin move, cut off, gets it off to Van Gorp to Vandermolen. Brad Wienia, top of the circle, dribbles right side, going in on Bruxford. Spin move, dumps underneath to Van Gorp, and the shot is good.
Wienia redeemed himself on that. Beautiful assist to Van Gorp.
Mike Valster had to come over and help out on defense, and that left Van Gorp open. Here's Valster baseline. Nice move underneath, and the sophomore powers it home. 21-14.
As George Weir said in his pregame, there's no way Mike Valster is a sophomore any longer.
Eric Pothoven drives into the lane. Better get rid of it. Does. Vandermolen for 3. No good. Ball out of bounds. It'll belong to Pella Christian. Last touch by Brad Rimpey, so the Eagles get another chance.
Those 2 sophomores really give Pella's team a lift. Pothoven out in front, and Mike Valster. Mike Valster, of course, has been playing all year, and Pothoven helping him out off the bench. Plus, Paul, their sophomore team went undefeated under Coach Lubach, so boy, the Pella High fans have a lot to look forward to.
Wade Van Dyke into the lineup for the first time. Vandermolen, baseline jumper, no good. Rebound off to Rob Bruxford. And Pella with the basketball, looking to trim a 7-point Pella Christian lead.
Pella Christian starting lineup is back in there.
Wade Van Dyke turned an ankle against Montezuma. He had been starting. They go into Van Dyke, ball through his hands, out of bounds, and it belongs to Pella Christian. So Wade doesn't seem to have his main football. The ball gets through his hands and out of bounds.
Just very frankly, we've not had very good basketball in the last 4 or 5 minutes.
Coach Ware said a lot of kids wouldn't have come back from the injury that Van Dyke suffered. Doctors said he probably wouldn't play again this year, but he has slowly come back. Not at 100%, but he's in there right now. Keating, top of the key, shot no good. Rebound taken down by Woody Klein, and his shot is good. And another big offensive rebound for Pella Christian. Woody Klein is 4 of 4 from the field. 23-14 Pella Christian. Here's Brad Rimpey going baseline, dumps it to Van Dyke, powers it up and scores. Nice feed and nice basket. Rimpey went baseline, stuck the defense over to him, and then gave a little hook pass to Wade Van Dyke for the easy 2, and it's 23-16.
Van Dyke really put it up strong. Got the nice bucket.
Here's Ryan Klein, no good. Long rebound is run down by Van Gorp. Klein's first miss from the field. Back out to Eric Pothoven, and the Eagles reset the offense. Pothoven for 3, shot no good, and he was fouled by Volster. Let's see if they call it on the shot or after. It's after the shot. The 1-and-1. Pothoven went up. Volster went for the block, didn't get a piece of it, and then his body momentum carried him on into Eric Pothoven. So it's a 1-and-1 foul after the shot.
I think what Volster probably did was to turn around and try to keep Eric from going to the basket.
Eric Pothoven hits the first free throw. Pella Christian 2 of 2 at the line. We've only had 1 missed free throw so far tonight, so good shooting from the stripe. Second one up, and this one misses badly. Rebound off to Bruxford. Randy Smith brings it down across half court. The lefty goes in, cut off by Woody Klein, throws the ball, and nice recovery by Rimpey. That ball was headed out of bounds, and Brad Rimpey came out of nowhere to make the catch and stop it. Mike Volster down in the left corner, goes baseline, picks up the dribble. Randy Smith fakes from 3, drives in. He'll go all the way to the hoop and score! Beautiful move. Covered a lot of ground with that last big stride.
Almost looked like he was going to pull up, Paul, and then got the extension and laid it on the board off the fingers. Beautiful fingertip roll on the bucket.
6-point ball game. The Little Dutch fighting back. It's 24-18. Woody Klein steps up and buries the baseline jumper. And that's what a senior's supposed to do for you. When you need a hoop, they'll take charge and knock it down for you. Randy Smith calls for traveling.
On the last play, Klein did exactly the same thing. He wasn't to be denied and putting the ball back up off the offensive board.
It'll be Pella Christian basketball. Turnover number 7 on Pella.
I believe that's the first time Van Gorp's been out of the ball game. So now everybody's had a break.
Brad Wienia kicks out to Pothoven. Wienia, Pella Christian by 8, 26-18. Wienia with the basketball out to Pothoven. These two play catch. Wienia drives baseline, shoots, and can't get it. Rebound to Randy Smith. Knoxville head coach Dale Holt in attendance tonight. Pick him out of the crowd across the way. Mike Volster, jump shot from 17 is good. And it's back to a 6-point ball game. Volster has 8 so far in the contest.
He has really smoothed out the rough edges from that opening ball game, Paul.
Super sophomore has come a long, long ways. Here's Woody Klein left open on the baseline. Shot no good. Long rebound comes out. Who's going to get it? It'll belong to the Eagles. And Pella Christian wants a timeout. 3:28 to go in the first half. It's Pella Christian 26 and Pella 20.
Tonight's district basketball game.
3 minutes and 28 seconds left to go in the first half. It's Pella Christian 26 and Pella 20 in tonight's Class 2A boys district matchup at Central College. Winner plays Sheraton or Centerville tomorrow night right here in the district final. Brad Wienia with the ball, left side, dribbles up, doesn't take the shot, brings it out front to Pothoven again. Zone defense for Pella. Ball knocked away by Wade Van Dyke, and Pella comes up with it. Randy Smith behind the back. Gets it into the front court. Here's Brad Rimpey off to Randy Smith. Smith dribbles in. Better get rid of the ball, and does to Mike Volster. Brad Rippey with the ball out front to Smith. Smith drives into the lane, all the way to the hoop again, and hits the basket.
Same play, Paul, identical. Right side, 4-point ball game.
26-22. The Little Dutch fight back, and listen to the crowd. Eric Pothoven with a one-handed shot, good for Pella Christian. Brad Rimpey for three. It's an air ball, rebound for Wade Van Dyke, and he's going to be called for traveling.
Oh, I bet he wishes he could have that one back, because all he had to do was put it back. Ball came long, never hit the rim, and he was right there. The ball surprised him a little bit and moved his feet.
Had a little trouble with it and juggled it. Eric Pothoven gets the ball into the front court, off to Troy Vandermolen. Here's Pothoven again into the lane, and he is fouled by number 20, Randy Smith. So Eric Pothoven, the sophomore, taking charge. Last time down, hit a tough one-hander, and this time goes to the line for two.
I think in last year's ball game, when the going got really tough in the last quarter and a half, Eric took charge last year, and he's doing the same thing here when things were not going well for Pella Christian. But those two moves by Randy Smith down the lane were just beautiful.
Kevin Pothoven in, Bruxford checks out. A little smaller lineup now for Pella with Wade Van Dyke, Mike Valter, Brad Rimpey, Kevin Pothoven, and Randy Smith. Eric Pothoven at the line for PC. Shot is good. Eric Pothoven with 11 here in the first half. It's 29-22, Pella Christian.
These 2 minutes, very, very important.
Second shot up and good. And Pothoven has scored 4 in a row to make it an 8-point ball game again.
Pella Christian will show full court pressure.
And Pella breaks it across the timeline. Here's Randy Smith open for three. Good! Randy Smith for three. And it's a 5-point ball game, 30-25.
No matter what you say, Paul, a left-hander has an advantage.
Mark Van Gorp, hook shot, no good. Rimpey with the rebound and a foul on Ryan Klein. And that'll be Woody's third foul.
Pressure out here for high school kids. With the size crowd that you have, every play means so much.
30-25, Pella Christian on top with 1:44 to go in the first half. And as you mentioned, Gord, these last couple minutes very important because the score at halftime is a big psychological factor.
If you're down below double digits in high school ball against a good ball club, it is difficult to come back. So that's why for both clubs, the last 2 minutes are really crucial.
Brad Rimpey at the line, shooting 1-1. Free throw up and no good. And the rebound comes out to Brad Wienia. Golden opportunity for Pella, and the Little Dutch come up empty. Here's Wienia with the basketball, drives to the left baseline all the way in. He's going to be, no, they call the blocking foul on Brad Rimpey. Iffy call either way. Certainly looked like Wienia initiated the contact, but they say that Rimpey did not have the position he needed.
Notice that in watching a lot of college ball this year too, Paul, that a lot of times they're giving the foul to the offensive man even though the defensive man is not set. Sometimes the offensive man can get that elbow up a little bit. Boy, those officials see that. They're going to call out on that offensive man. In this particular instance, it went the other way.
Bruxford into the lineup for Van Dyke. 30-25, Pella Christian by 5 with 1:35 to go in the first half. Brad Wienia shoots and misses the free throw. Balster with the rebound. Both teams missing the front end of a very important 1-on-1 opportunity. And the margin stays at 5. Jeff Lucas dribbles in to Bruxford. Back out to Lucas. Goes in, shoots from 17, no good. Rebound taken down by Geating. Here's Vandermolen, bounce pass baseline to Wiener. He goes in strong, shoots and scores. Brad Wiener with the basket, his first two of the night, and it's a 7-point lead for the Eagles. Here's Bruxford, he'll take it in. Scoop shot is good! Holy cow!
What a move. Just flipped the ball at the basket around Van Gorp, scored.
32-27, Eagles on top by 5. Pothoven going one-on-one, gets the screen, can't get the shot away, out to Wiener. Brad Wiener left side, gets it off to Vandermolen, top of the circle. Troy Vandermolen dribbles up, doesn't take the shot, passes, intercepted by Bruxford, back to Smith, it's still loose, who's going to get it? It goes out of bounds, it'll belong to, they call it a jump ball, neither referee could see it. What an effort by Bruxford to get the interception. He dived in front of his man, was literally airborne, knocked it down, and as he was flying by, before he hit the ground, he tapped it back in. Smith couldn't come up with it. They give it to Pella Christian on the alternate possession rule.
The out official could have seen it, but he was already turned to go down court. The out official's call.
Eric Pothoven off to Wiener. He goes in, stops and pops from 12 feet, and gets the roll. Brad Wiener with 2 in a row, and it's back to a 7-point ball game. 15 seconds left in the first half. Jeff Lucas gets it across the timeline, off to Randy Smith. Smith with the basketball, dribbles in, kicks out, and he's fouled out front by Wiener. That's number 2 on Brad, and with 5 seconds to go in the first half, it'll put Randy Smith at the line to shoot 1 and 1. Pella with a chance there to get the last points of the half and perhaps go into the locker room down by 5. 34-27, Pella Christian on top. A Class 2A district semifinal. Smith's free throw is good. Randy with 8 points tonight so far. And it's a 6-point ball game, 34-28. One on the way is good again. Randy Smith.
They have really kept themselves in at the free throw line.
34-29 the score, and now whistles sound. We've got a substitution, Kevin Pothoven coming in. Pella Christian with 5 seconds there to get something done. Brad Wiener will trigger the inbound. They have to go the length of the floor here. Pella better be careful not to foul. Van Gorp and Geetings both stationed at half court. They get it into Pothoven. He'll dribble down. Pothoven comes all the way down, shoots from 8 feet, and can't get the basket, and the half comes to an end.
Well, Paul, I think Coach Will's got to be very happy in the situation that he's in. Underdog ball club, but he's got a crack at him in the second half.
Both crowds with a nice ovation for their fans. The Pella Christian fans are happy they're ahead. The Pella fans are happy as they challenge number 1. It's 34-29 at halftime. Pella Christian on top, and we'll be back to Central College after this timeout. Time of tonight's Class 2A boys district matchup. It's a district semifinal between Pella and Pella Christian. At halftime, the number 1 Eagles on top by 5 points, 34-29, led by as many as 12 in the first quarter, Gord. But Pella was able to stop the run at 10 points. Pella Christian ran off 10 straight points to turn a 2-point lead into a 12-point lead. Pella was able to stop it and gain ground in the second quarter, and actually down now by 5 at halftime.
Hey, it's a brand new ball game. I mean, you talk about a 5-point differential, and the way that Pella High shoots the three-pointer, they're right back in this thing. Smith comes down the first 2 possessions and cans 2 three-pointers, and Pella's got the 1-point lead. So it's a brand new ball game. 5 points in the way basketball is played today. That's like starting the game over. So it'll be interesting to see the second half and what adjustments are made. And whatever team probably makes the better adjustments and then plays better out here on the court is going to go on and play tomorrow night's game in the district championship.
In that other half of the district matchup, we expect Sheraton to come out. They're playing Centerville tonight. Would be favored to beat Centerville 9 out of 10 times, and Sheraton has been playing some very, very good basketball of late. They have definitely peaked at the right part of the season. Quite frankly, they were underachieving early on, and they're finally playing up to their potential. Ended up with an 8-6 record in the South Central Conference. So certainly do expect Sheraton to come out of that other bracket, and both of our teams tonight have seen Sheraton this year, of course. And so that'll be an interesting matchup tomorrow night, whoever advances from the Pella area.
That's exactly right, and I think whoever does win has the disadvantage tomorrow night because of the emotion involved in this particular ball game. And when you play hard, and have to play 6 or 7 or 8 people in a varsity ball game that goes down to the wire, you are going to have some tired legs. So you can say, well, Sheridan or Centerville has to do the traveling to come up here. But in this particular case, I think the disadvantage would be for whichever the two Pella teams wins because of the emotion involved in this. I haven't heard anybody talk about that district final. I have heard everybody talking about this particular game, and boy, there's a danger in that because usually it takes a couple of days to get ready for an opponent.
That's where this rivalry, this in-town rivalry between Pella and Pella Christian, my first season of watching local basketball here. The two teams are adversaries, they're rivals, but I think they're good for each other.
No, that's exactly right. And I know I came to Pella Christian in 1974, and I think since that time, the relationship between the two schools has gotten better and better. There's been more sharing. It seems like the kids get along better. And I know in 74, there was no game between Pella and Pella Christian. And the athletic directors finally got together and pushed the game and thought it would be a good moneymaker. And it was good to have it at the beginning of the year because since both schools are in the same class and in the same town, inevitably, there's no way that Pella and Pella Christian are going to go to a state tournament. They're going to have to play each other. I think it's been once, that as long as I can remember, that they were not in the same district, where Pella went one direction, say south perhaps, or Pella went south and Pella Christian went north. But out of the last 15 years, I think that's happened one time.
At halftime, Pella Christian on top of Pella, 34-29. We'll be back with more halftime activities on the new 92 FM KRLS.
Tonight's district basketball game on the new 92 FM is brought to you by
Farmers Co-op Exchange in Pella, presenting Seed Pickup Days, March 5th through the 10th. Earn $1.50 per bag on it.
And at halftime, it is Pella Christian out in front of Pella by a score of 34-29. And as we mentioned, a 19-9 advantage after one quarter for Pella Christian. They made that 34-29 at halftime. Pella did, I should say, as Pella was able to come back and get into the ballgame and cut it down to 5. At halftime, Pella Christian shooting 52%, 14 of 27 from the field. They cooled off in the second quarter, shot only 40% in the second quarter. We're at 67% at the end of the first quarter, at 52% at halftime. On the other side of the coin, Gord, it was Pella shooting just 9% in the first quarter, but they came back to hit 70% in the second quarter, so now they're at 38%. The shooting differential has certainly narrowed down.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Pella, of course, scored 20 points in the second quarter to Pella Christian's 15, so that evens things up in a hurry.
At halftime, it's Pella Christian 34 and Pella 29. As we look around the Class 2A district around the state, Gord, in this tournament season, so far the only real big upset, I'm proud to say, was my alma mater, Waukee, knocking off Ballard of Huxley, not only beating them on the home floor, but beating them badly by 17 points. Otherwise, things are pretty much held true to form. Washington, Western Christian, St. Albert, all of those teams moving on in the tournament.
Yeah, I think probably the Class 2A is the one that the least upsets, of course. We're just in the district semifinal round. I'll tell you, in those two smaller classes, it's unbelievable. They were going through the register in the top 10. I think probably in one class there might be as many as 6 of those teams eliminated at this point. With one ball game left, of course, they got to play Saturday night to earn their berth in the state tournament. So actually, they're 2 games ahead before we see the reverse tonight.
At halftime, it's Pella Christian 34 and Pella 29. We'll be back with second half action on the new 92 FM KRLS. Frosty mug filled to the rim with your foamy favorite, the Pella A&W 29. We apologize for the technical difficulties. We certainly apologize for that squeal we heard a couple moments ago. A little feedback in our system. Not pleasant for anybody, especially if you're wearing headphones.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
People don't think they had it bad. Oh, boy. Buzzer has sounded. That means the second half can't be too far away.
It might be a wake-up call about 5 a.m. or something like that.
34-29. The Pella Christian Eagles out in front of the Pella Little Dutch. The Pella boys have been up to the challenge so far against the number 1 team in the state, Pella Christian. And second half action set to get started.
And we do have the same 10 ball players on the floor as what started the ball game. The 5 starters for Pella, the 5 starters for Pella Christian.
It'll be Pella basketball to get things going, and this is a very big possession for the Pella boys. Down by 5, they can make it a 3-point ball game, or perhaps 2 with a long-range bomb. And they lose the ball instead. Mark Van Gorp comes up with a bad pass. Eric Potterman brings it down. Stop, head fake, shot off the glass, no good. Ripley has the rebound, and he turns and goes collision with Woody Klein.
He made the smart move there because he avoided contact, and he already has 3.
So it'll be the Eagles basketball. Woody Klein better get the ball in. Finally does to Vandermolen, top of the circle. Here's Ryan Klein, shoots from 15 feet. Good. Woody Klein with the hoop.
Can't beat experience, Paul. He's been on the floor since he's been a freshman.
His 13 points lead all scorers. 12 points in the ball game for Eric Pothoven. 9 points for Randy Smith, leads the way for Pella. 36-29. Here's Balster in on Geating. Shoots and is fouled. And Brent Geatings is scoreless tonight. Mike Balster has gotten the best of that matchup. They have not been man-to-man all night, but certainly they do face off when you look up and down the lineup, and so far Balster's gotten the best of that matchup. He'll be at the line for Brent Geatings, foul number 3. He's got 3, and Klein has 3 for the Eagles. Mike Balster shoots and hits the free throw. Pella made 82% of their free throw shots in the first half, 9 of 11.
If you put Walter at the line most of the night, he's going to hit most of those, I'll tell you that.
Hits another one right there, and it's back down to a 5-point ball game, 36-31. Inbounds pass comes into Eric Pothoven. Pella with some token pressure defense. Now they take the trap, get it off to Woody Klein, and his shot is good. Tough shot by Woody Klein, had to change it in midair and got her down.
About 15 feet. Free throw line extended right in that area.
Brad Rempe gets it off to Jeff Lucas. Rempe with the basketball. Drives left side, stops and pops, and it won't go, and Geatings has the rebound. Eric Pothoven down to Troy Vandermolen, and he goes in on Smith, cut off baseline, bounce pass to Van Gorp. He shoots and scores. Mark Van Gorp with a basket, and it's back out to a 9-point ball game, 40-31, with 6:30 to go, third quarter. Randy Smith off to Jeff Lucas. Eagles in his own defense. They get it into Rempe, and he kicks it out, and Brent Geatings literally kicks it out. And Jeff Lucas will put it in play from the offensive baseline right of the hoop. Pella Christian by 9, 40-31. Randy Smith has it taken away by Eric Pothoven. Pothoven goes in. Balster with the foul. Oh, and Balster hit the wall kind of hard down at the other end. I hope he's okay.
Most high school gyms, Paul, of course, have mats underneath because the wall is much closer to the end line, but here there are no mats because of the greater distance, but he hit the wall pretty hard.
Eric Pothoven will go to the line here to shoot 2 shots. Eric with 12 points in the ball game. Eagles by 9, 40-31. Free throw good, and the lead back into double digits now at 41-31.
I don't think you're going to see many free throws that are better on the high school level than what Mike Balster and Eric Pothoven are.
Pothoven has made 5 of 6. Balster has made 6 of 6. Lucas gets the ball across half court. It's an 11-point lead now for Pella Christian. Their biggest lead has been 12. This is their biggest lead of the second half. Smith out to Lucas. Takes it in, gets it off to Bruxford, out to Randy Smith. He shoots from long range and hits it. Big basket by Randy Smith, a 2-pointer.
Just inside the line, though, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for the 3-pointer when they get down by 9 or 11.
It's 42-33, Pella Christian by 9. Vandermolen goes baseline to Van Gorp, out to Vandermolen again. They want to work it into Mark Van Gorp, can't get it to him. Pothoven to Vandermolen, dribbles to the right baseline, cut off by Smith. Leaning shot won't go. Woody Klein rebound is good.
Offensive board, Paul. How important?
Ryan Klein has had 3 offensive rebounds and putbacks. Here's Wade Van Dyke, and he'll be called for a... No, they called a foul on Van Gorp. I thought Van Dyke hooked him. but instead they call Van Gorp for the blocking foul. Foul number 2 on Mark, second team foul of the half on the Eagles.
Last year's ball game, Paul, Mark Van Gorp got into foul trouble, had to sit almost the entire first half, and I think Pella Christian fans and also the Pella Christian coaching staff feel that Mark Van Gorp must play in this ball game.
There's Brad Rempe into ball skirt, fakes, goes baseline, shoots no good, rebound off to Van Dyke. Van Dyke loses it, better put it up, does, and he's fouled by Keating, and that'll be number 4 on Brent Keating. You can see why Pella wants Wade Van Dyke in there. He's got some muscle under the board, and that's something they really need, and he's also a scrappy ball player. Does not give up when there's a loose ball. Chad Dieleman comes in, so the Eagles elect to go with the Twin Towers. Dieleman and Van Gorp, both at 6'6". Wade Van Dyke at the line to shoot 2. First one misses. No good on the first one. Wade gets another opportunity here. Missed another one, and Van Gorp gets the rebound. Eric Pothoven dribbles in, head and shoulders fake. Smith doesn't take it. Here's Woody Klein. Shot no good, and a rebounding foul called on Chad Dieleman.
Chad was over the back trying to get the offensive board. Defensive board.
5 minutes and 3 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Pella Christian 44, Pella 33. Paul Clark along with Gord Van Zanten on KRLS. There's Randy Smith, one-handed push shot, no good. Rebound to Mark Van Gorp. Long lead pass is tipped out of bounds by Bruxford. Nice defensive recovery as Dieleman had gotten free in front of the pack. Bruxford got back and knocked it away. Eagles maintained possession. Ryan Klein into Vandermolen, back to Klein, turnaround jumper won't go, and the rebound off to Smith. Both teams shooting cold here in the third quarter. 44-33, Pella Christian by 11. Here's Van Dyke underneath, ball tipped away by Pothoven, and they give the ball to the Eagles.
Coach Weirs wants timeout.
That's right, a Pella timeout with the score Pella Christian 44 and Pella 33.
District basketball game on the new 92 FM is brought to you.
It'll be Pella Christian basketball as we come back to third quarter action. Eagles on top of Pella 44-33 in tonight's Class 2A District semifinal. Boys action coming your way tonight. Here's Troy Vandermolen with it off to Mark Van Gorp, coming out to the high post to take the pass. Vandermolen for 3. Doesn't get the roll. Rebound still loose. Scrambled for. And Van Dyke loses it, and it'll belong to Pella Christian. Inbound pass comes to Eric Pothoven. Here's Woody Klein going baseline, little one-handers, an air ball. Van Gorp with the rebound, and his putback shot is good. Biggest lead for Pella Christian, 13 points at 46-33. Here's Wade Van Dyke spinning into the lane. His shot off the glass is good. So Wade Van Dyke gets 2 back. He's got 4, and it's 46-35.
I think you'll see Smid now start to put the three-pointer up to see if Pella can make the comeback.
3:45 to go third quarter. An 11-point lead for Pella Christian. Vandermolen drives in, gets it off to Van Gorp. 13-foot jumper is good. Mark Van Gorp coming to life now with 10 points. And it's 48-35. Pella basketball. They kick it out, and the pass is off the mark as the turnover. Give it back to Pella Christian. Bruxford, they went inside out. Rempe kicked it into Bruxford, and Ross tried to kick it back out to Brad Rempe, but Brad has moved, and the ball goes out of bounds.
Pella has elected to play half-court defense. Eric Pothoven at the point. Chad Dieleman, Mark Van Gorp. Free throw lines extended.
Eric Pothoven has a lane, takes it to the hoop, and gets the basket.
That was a brilliant clear out for Eric Pothoven.
Great clear out. Kevin Pothoven all the way to the hoop, and a blocking foul called on Mark Van Gorp. That'll be his third, and it's not too often you see a little guy like Kevin Pothoven barrel over a Mark Van Gorp, but that's exactly what happened. And Mark was a little bit out of position, so Kevin decided to go right at him and picked up the blocking foul. Kevin will go to the line to shoot 2.
He's gained a lot of valuable experience, this kid being a sophomore, coming off the bench during the varsity season all year long.
Kevin Pothoven at the line, misfires on the free throw. Greg Ekoff into the lineup for the Eagles now, his first action tonight. Pella simply has to hit these free throws to get back into this one. It's 50-35.
3 minutes and 9 seconds left, and you're right, Paul. Pella needs to run at this point.
Second one no good. Who's going to get the rebound? It's still loose in the lane. Pile up, and it's a jump ball, and it belongs to the Eagles, I believe. Can't see the arrow from up here. Yeah, it's Pella Christian basketball. Pella's missed their last 4 from the line, and they simply can't afford to miss in trying to come back in this ball game. Eric Pothoven with the ball, drives into the lane, has the ball stripped away. It's still loose, and Dieleman runs it down for Pella Christian. Troy Vandermolen off to Woody Klein, 12-foot jumper, no good, and a rebounding foul on Chad Dieleman. Klein has missed his last 4 from the field now after knocking down 8 of his first 10.
Chad Dieleman showed a little bit of inexperience there as he tried to rebound in one position, and you can't do that. When you board offensively or defensively for that matter, you've got to go and get some movement toward the board, and that's what Chad failed to do there. Pella's in the 1-and-1, and they've only committed 1 team foul himself, so again, the Little Dutch have the advantage there if they can convert, and Rob Bruxford hits the free throw. He's 4 of 5 tonight. Bruxford and Walter have done most of the damage from the free throw line for Pella. Second one up, and good. Those two are a combined 11 of 12. Jeff Lucas comes in. 2:46 to go third quarter. The Eagles on top by 13, 50-37. A 5-point game at halftime has been blown open. The Pella boys need to get it under 10 before this quarter's over, and then make a fourth quarter charge at the Eagles. Here's Eric Pothoven in, 12-footer, bottom of the circle is good. The reason that was good was because Pella had the full court pressure on, and Eric just split the defense, came right down the middle and took the jumper.
Jeff Lucas off to Brad Rimpey underneath of Volster. Volster working on Dieleman, shoots, and it's short, and Dieleman has the rebound. A couple of sophomores going head-to-head right there. Troy Vandermolen, off-balance shot, no good, and Volster comes out with the rebound. Pella wants to run with it. Smith out in front of the pack is fouled by Ekoff, and Smith will go to the line to shoot 2.
Been a different kind of a game with Chad Dieleman playing early, playing as much as he has, and Greg Ekoff as well.
Gary Nickel promised that Chad Dieleman would see more playing time here now that the sophomore season is over. He's available for the whole ball game for the varsity team. And right now, Van Gorp is out of there, but Jerry certainly likes the Twin Tower look. Randy Smith hits the first free throw. He's 3 of 3 at the line tonight.
It'll be interesting to see if Van Gorp does come back here in the third quarter, if he'll start the fourth.
Second one no good. Rebound to Volster. Kicks it out, a scramble at the sideline, ball out of bounds, last touch by Smith. It'll belong to Pella Christian. Volster got the rebound, kicked it out. There was a loose ball, a scramble for it. Vandermolen and Smith, and Randy touched it last.
And this time Pella will play half-court defense. So it seems like every other time the ball is dead along the end line, they vary. They alternate between full-court defense and playing man-half.
Eric Pothoven in, 2 minutes left in the third quarter, a 14-point lead for Pella Christian, 52-38. Eagles working the offense. Pothoven drives in, bounce pass baseline. Vandermolen up, shot no good, got his own rebound, shot up, and he's fouled.
Nice is clear. I wish I had done the other thing, and I think there's a situation too where so I wish that put the ball in play instead of faking. He did have the open shot, felt the defense close it in, then gave the head fake, and then really got nailed.
Bumped his head on the floor when he went down, but this floor is a whole lot softer than the wall that he hit the other night at Pella Christian. A tartan floor out here has a little play to it. Free throw no good by Vandermolen. He'll get another one. Great atmosphere tonight. Great crowd at Central. This place is absolutely jammed, and Vandermolen missed the post. Here comes Pella with 1:40 in the third quarter, a 14-point lead for the Eagles. Wade Van Dyke in the lane, takes it all the way to the hoop, misses the shot, and Thielemann comes out with it. Vandermolen out in front of the pack, goes in, and can't get the layup. Here come the Little Dutch the other way. Pella working right or left to right on your radio dial. Going to work on the right end here at the floor. Bruckford with the basketball, fakes, drives across, gives it off to Smid into the lane. His little one-handed push shot is good. What a tough shot.
That time he went the opposite way and used the left hand.
Natural left-hander, but he is equally dangerous from both sides. A minute to go in the third quarter, 52-40. Pella Christian on top, and they pull the ball away from the basket again. They'd like to run it down and take the last shot here in the third quarter. Go into the fourth quarter up by no less than 12.
An all-man defense, and Pella really putting the pressure on him.
Eric Pothoven picks it up, almost a 5-second call. Ball is loose in backcourt, but Woody Klein runs it down.
Ball was tipped by Pella, otherwise it would have been over and back.
Pothoven off to Klein in the lane, knocked away. Balser gets the loose ball.
Now's the time for Pella to make a run.
They've got 22 seconds left in the quarter, and they need a basket here to make it a 10-point or perhaps 9-point game. Pella will also play for one. 15 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Smid with the basketball on Vandermolen. Goes into the lane all the way. One-hander is no good, and we're going to have an offensive foul called on Randy Smid. They haven't called it player control yet. Doesn't matter because Pella Christian not in the bonus yet. Player control foul. And the Eagles get it back with 8 seconds left in the quarter. And Pothoven can get it down in a hurry. He's got the ball. Takes it all the way down, puts up the layup. No good. Pella got the rebound, and the quarter comes to an end. We've played through 3. It's Pella Christian 52 and Pella 40. We'll be back after this timeout.
District basketball game on the new 92 FM.
College Piper Gymnasium, where the score as we go into the fourth quarter is Pella Christian 52 and Pella 40. Randy Smid gets the ball into front court as Pella has it to start the fourth quarter. Brad Rempe off to Randy Smid. Smid out at the top of the circle, gets a screen into the lane. 12-footer good, and Randy Smid pulls Pella back within 10.
Made a lot of progress this year, Paul, as a ball player. Confident.
Eric Pothoven controls the ball, top of the circle for the Eagles. Here's Woody Klein driving left side, spin around. Nothing there, and Pella Christian works it around the top. Zone defense for Pella. Here's Pothoven, bounce pass to Van Gorp. Power move baseline, and his reverse layup is good. Size and power gets the basket for Van Gorp. Here's Randy Smid with the basketball. They dump it underneath, and Van Gorp commits the foul, and Wade Van Dyke will go to the line now to shoot 1-1. 4 on Van Gorp, 4 on Geetings. Geetings is still on the bench, in fact. Brad Wienia off the bench. Looks like he'll be checking in. Yes, he will. He'll come in place of,
I would imagine, Mark McGorp, so that he can get a couple minutes here, get this clock narrowed down just a little bit.
Imagine Thielemann will move into the post, or perhaps Woody Klein. Which way do you think he'll go, Gord?
I would imagine he'll keep Thielemann down there just because of the fact that Woody's a much more versatile ball player.
Wade Van Dyke's free throw is good. Wade needed that one to break the ice. He's 1 for 3 now. It's an 11-point ball game, 54-43. Second one up, and this was no good, and Wienia has the rebound. Second one looked better than the first one, but the results are the opposite.
As far as form, that's right.
Brad Wienia goes in, picks up the dribble, feeds it inside, it's taken away. Here comes Randy Smid out of there with it. Nice spin move. Smid takes the left side and pulls it out now, and Pella will set up the offense. Eagles in man-to-man. Randy Smith with it. Off to Bruxford, back out to Smith. Smith drives to the free throw line, takes it all the way to the hoop. Layup is good by Randy Smith. It's a 9-point ball game.
Just going right down the gut as far as the defense is splitting the defense and scoring every time.
18 points for Randy Smith. Listen to the Pella crowd. Eric Conover with the basketball off to Woody Klein. Right side. Eagles working around outside Wienia from 18. No good. Wade Van Dyke with the rebound. Little Dutch with the ball looking to cut a 9-point lead. Smith into the lane is fouled out front by Vandermolen, and Smith will shoot 1 and 1. He's got the hot hand right now for Pella, just a junior. And it looks like the Eagles want a timeout. 6:02 to go in the fourth quarter. It's Pella Christian 54 and Pella 45.
Tonight's district basketball game on the new 92 FM is brought to you by
Doctors Vanderleest and DeHaan. We're back at Central College. It'll be Randy Smith at the line to shoot 1 and 1. Pella down by 9. It's the Pella Christian. Biggest lead for Pella Christian, 15 in the third quarter. Smith's free throw is good. He's 4 of 5 at the line tonight, makes it an 8-point ball game. Second one is no good, and Vandermolen has the rebound for Pella Christian. 54-46, PC on top. Here's Eric Pothoven right side. They swing it around the top. Zone defense right now being played by Pella. A matchup zone as they are in the zone, but they're coming out to play people.
Yeah, they're putting the pressure on despite playing the zone, Paul. That's correct.
And the Eagles continue to work the ball on offense. No serious threat at the basket yet. Here's Wienia with the ball out front. They'll pull it out, give it to Pothoven, and they'll reset the offense. Woody Klein, top of the circle, feeds underneath to Wienia. Ball slips away, and it'll belong to Pella Christian. And I think the Eagles got a break there that time. It looked to me like the block shot came down and went off Wienia's leg.
I would agree with that, Paul. I think that probably belongs to Pella.
Woody Klein wants to put it in play, gets it into Dieleman. Shot is good. The sophomore first basket is a big one.
Big bucket off the out-of-bounds play.
56-46, a 10-point lead for the Eagles. Smith underneath to Van Dyke, and he is fouled by Dieleman. Van Dyke will go to the line now to shoot 1 and 1. Wade has struggled on free throws tonight. He's 1 of 4. But he made 1 of 2 his last time, so he's starting to find the range. 56-46, the Eagles by 10. Little Dutch fighting to get back in this one. Free throw is good.
Got a nice roll, good backspin on the ball, and the ball fell through. Wasn't pretty when it got to the rim, but it all still counts, still the same.
Second one on the way. And this one's no good, and Wienia gets the rebound. Here's Pothoven, a 9-point lead for the Eagles. He'll go into the lane. Little short jumper is no good. Tight for the rebound. They call it jump ball. That'll belong to Pella. Mike Foster got away with it over the back that time. He was actually reaching over when they called the jump ball.
He just barely had the ball. The whistle was probably blowing a little bit quickly.
Eagles have it on the alternate possession. Correction. Shot missed by Vandermolen, and a rebounding foul call on Van Dyke. So the Eagles get the ball on the alternate possession. Originally, the referees had yelled out white, but Pella got the ball to start the fourth quarter, so it had gone back to the Eagles. Officials, along with myself, a little premature on the call. It does belong to the Eagles. Pothoven for 3 points. No good. Woody Klein rebound is good.
Nice big putback for Pella Christian.
Offensive rebounding. Coming to the forefront again for Pella Christian. I believe I've got 10 points on putbacks for him. Wade Van Dyke powers his way in, misses the shot, fight for the rebound, and Woody Klein got it. 4:25 to go. Pella Christian by 11. I love it, Jerry Nichols holding up hand signals, and some of the girls behind him for Pella Christian are doing the same thing in case the players can't see him. Ball loose on the floor, and it'll belong to Pella as the jump ball is called. And Pella wants a timeout. 4 minutes, 7 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Pella Christian 58 and Pella 47.
Tonight's district basketball game on the new 92 FM is brought to you by
Ideal Pharmacy, your one-stop shopping place for family health care. Cameras and photo minutes and 7 seconds left in this ball game. And Gord, you have to figure the Little Ducks have a run left in them.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. With Smith, the three-point shooter that he is, I'm sure he's going to put a few up before you cut a deficit in a hurry.
Pella has to have a run, obviously, to get back in it. The question being, will it be enough? Pella Christian, on the other hand, if Pella starts to get one going, PC has to rise to the occasion. They've done that tonight, especially Eric Pothoven. When Pella started some little runs, Pothoven has come down to make some big baskets and cool off the Little Dutch momentum. Balster fakes for three, might have got away with a travel, shoots and can't get it. Woody Klein has the rebound, and a foul on Randy Smith.
Well, that was a battle for that rebound.
And that'll put Pella Christian into the bonus. 15 foul on Pella.
I'm sure that you'll see Pella Christian in a zone defense with the lead that they do have to try to prevent Smith from coming down and scoring down the middle.
Woody Klein will go to the line. He's had a big night tonight. 19 points for Ryan. Free throw on the way is good. Pella Christian starting to inch away again. It's 59-47, 60-47. Jeff Lucas with the basketball for Pella. Off to Randy Smith. Back out front to Lucas. Behind the back. He goes into the lane. Shoots and doesn't get it. Who's going to get the rebound? It's into Rimpey. Rimpey dumps underneath the Volster. His shot is good, and he's fouled by Wiener. Chance at a three-point play with the clock stopped, just what the doctor ordered for the Little Dutch.
As you said, Paul, I'm sure there's a run left with 3 minutes and 23 seconds left, and the score is 60-49.
Brent Giddings and Mark Van Gort back into the lineup for the Eagles. They're well rested for the final 3:23. Free throw up, and it's short. Who's going to get the rebound? Eric Pothoven gets it. Balster's first miss of the night. Pothoven goes in. He's cut off. Better get out of the lane. They call the 3 seconds. Give it to Pella.
Now, there's no way you can make two moves in there. Eric made one to try to release the ball. He could not. Made a second move, and you know the official's going to call that one, and probably rightly so. I think he was in there 3 seconds.
Here's Jeff Lucas off to Brad Rimpey. Crowd grows silent for just a minute. Bruxford in the lane. Bounce pass off to Balster, and a jump ball called again. And Rod should have went up with that one. That's what George Wares tells him from the near sideline. And it'll belong to the Eagles on the alternate possession. So the arrow now points back to Pella. 2:57 to go. It's Pella Christian 60-49. Here's the ball almost taken away. Vandermolen has it off to Giddings. He goes in. Layup is good. Brent Giddings' first basket of the night. Here's Brad Rimpey going in. His shot on the way is no good. Taken away by Van Gort. And that might have just been it. You kind of sense that flurry right there has put the Eagles in control. Brian Klein off to Vandermolen. Klein back door. Layup is good.
Offensive movement that Pella Christian has had tonight.
And Jerry Nichols senses that's the clincher. He's off the bench, jumping up and down. A nervous coach finally able to let his emotions out. Lucas for 3, no good. Long rebound comes out. Lucas with the basketball, drives in, kicks it out to Smid. His three-pointer up and no good. Rebound to Volster. 2-point follow shot is no good. Van Dorp with the rebound, and he's fouled by Rimpey.
Both players will take a timeout, Paul. say, it is difficult to figure out.
If I said I've enjoyed it tremendously in my first season here, I would certainly be understating a point.
It's really an interesting matchup when both teams, girls and guys, face each other early in the year, and then undoubtedly you're going to have the matchup at the end of the year as well. Last year that was true with the girls and the guys. This year it's true with the girls and the guys.
I tell you, on that last exchange, when the two-pointer on the back door to Woody Klein, you could sense right then, tension and everything just came out. That was the moment that he felt, he thought he knew that this ball game was in the bag for the Eagles.
That's right.
Shot. Showing the emotions and excitement of one of the students right behind him. Van Dorp free throw, no gets the rebound. The Little Dutch will try to scramble back into this one. Here's Rimpey with the ball out to Lucas. Lucas dribbles top of the circle. Smid back out to Lucas. Back out to Smid. He'll step up, dump underneath. It's knocked away, and Pella Christian has the basketball.
Real nice block by Geeding.
There's Vandermolen off to Geeding. And the Eagles will work it. Woody Klein has it. Toward Vandermolen with the basketball to Pat Irving. Vandermolen with the basketball. At the Pat Irving. And here's a foul here. On this team for Pella, Brad Rimpey, Dennis Bogards, and Jamie Bogard. Brad, the only one of the three that sees a lot of action, and here come the other two right now in their final ball game for the Little Dutch.
The future for Pella basketball is bright with Smid coming back, Bolster to work underneath, undefeated sophomore team that I'd say has got some fine athletes that got better all last year and been undefeated this year in the sophomore season.
Brent Geeding hits the free throw, and that represents the biggest lead for Pella Christian.
I want to take bets with me, Paul, that Pella High is not under 500 next year. Want to take me up on that?
Oh, if they're not, if that team's not well over 500.
I like safe bets. I think that'd be a safe bet.
This ball game might look like a runaway when the final score is all said and done. Three-pointer on the way by Jamie Bogard, no good, and Eric Pothoven gets the rebound. Geeding shot off the ground for Bolster with the rebound, and here comes Pella. And again, with mostly juniors and the sophomore Bolster in the starting lineup this year. Here's a rebounding foul called on Dennis Bogard as Smid misses on the shot. Juniors like Wade Van Dyke and Rob Bruxford and Randy Smid, a sophomore Mike Bolster, and an undefeated sophomore team coming up. 19 seconds to go in the ball game. A timeout on the floor. Pella Christian will get some reserves in to play the final 19 seconds. 66-49 is the score, and now we look to tomorrow night, Gord. Pella Christian will probably, most likely, play Sheraton. Only a major upset would prevent that from happening, although Centerville is at home tonight for that ball game.
Right, that's what I was thinking, too. That'll even things out a little bit. But when you look at the athletes in the basketball program in those two schools and the way Sheraton played in the last 2 weeks, I definitely have to go with Sheraton in that one as well. And they do have some fine athletes.
You see a number one team that's fired up about beating a sub-500 team, but this is some unique ball game.
That's exactly right. You can throw all the records away, and what's on paper, it's going to be even.
Eric Pothoven will shoot 1-1 here with 13 seconds left.
It's not going to look so even on the scoreboard when people read it in the paper tomorrow morning. But it was a lot tighter ball game than what the score indicates.
Another big fourth quarter for the Eagles. They had a big fourth quarter against Davis County, although they were well ahead when it started. And here's a foul on Eric Pothoven, and Jamie Bogart will go to the line. There it comes out. Kyle Jansen in, Steve DeBryan in for the Eagles. Darrell Beanstra in there, Kevin Rosa. And also on the floor for Pella Christian is Jason Rosenboom. Jamie Bogart's out there for Pella. Dennis Bogart's in there for the Little Dutch. Also on the floor, Brian Bennett. Missed by Bogart. 11 seconds, 10 seconds. The Eagles call a timeout.
Of both teams. All on their skin after anyone, high school kids, and what they gave tonight. And that's the first one.
Pella Christian basketball with 8 seconds on the clock. Kyle Jansen gets it off. Steve DeBryan with the ball. Three-pointer on the way. Somebody's shoulders. Pella Christian erases some painful memories from 1989. And they keep 1996 perfect. Now on the season with a 67-49 win over the Little Dutch. We'll be back with post-game activities after this.
Tonight's district basketball game on the new 92 FM is brought to you by
Pella Roofing. We're giving flat roofs a good name. Pella Roofing, flat roof specialist, featuring the single-ply rubber roof system since 1977. Inga's for her on the Pella Square and in the exciting new spring line. Style plus value equals Inga's. Inga's for her.
With the amount of experience and so forth,